That's it.
This is it!
We've been holding power you make for 30 years. But here's the real question. How much torque are you making? Because every single ACT clutch is rated by the torque produced at the crank. That's all your clutch cares about. Your power, your performance, your success. Unrivaled precision, power, and durability. Visit advancedclutch.com today. 30 years of precision engineering and performance excellence. Because every revolution starts at the crank.
You've got questions? We've got answers. Need a pro you can trust? We have stores of that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
These are my race treads for when the road ends.
These are my race treads for shredding the slopes.
These are my race treads for setting the hook.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Look at that backdrop. There is not a cloud in the sky, but we're going to make some of our own. This is round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. We are here at Utah Motorsports campus. Can you feel it? Yes, you can.
Utah is now the fastest track in our series.
Very difficult to see exactly where the edge of the track is when you're coming in with a lot of speed.
Boxy's once again right there. Look at that left foot brake. Odie risking it for the biscuit. Banging doors. Oh, doctor. Beecham is guaranteed his first ever Formula Drift podium.
Hell yeah.
Look at him using all of the course. What do we got?
I think we got a TV.
It's Osbo and Boxy's in the final. The cars are wound up, and there it is. Odie Boxy's once again. The driver that elevated and gets the win is Odie Boxy's. Welcome back, or welcome, regardless if you watch the pro seating brackets. Now we're going to, or the pro spec, now we're watching the pro seating brackets. This is Burt Brothers Motor Park. Yeah, you might have known it as Miller Motorsports Park, most recently UMC, Utah Motorsports Campus, and a rebranding literally this week, Burt Brothers Motor Park. Round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship here in Grantsville, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City. We brand this elevated, just shy of 5,000 feet, talking with Ryan Sage, president of Formula Drift, to talk about the air, how thin it is or what it is, and just basically look it up. Just I won't bore you with detail. It takes a toll on you. The sun, it's a beautiful day. What a beautiful backdrop. Photographers say this is probably one of the most photogenic tracks in all of the Formula Drift Championship. I'm Jared Deenda. Joining me is a host of the Outer Zone podcast, Mr. Jacob Gettens here, the blue beanie. You can stands out like a sore thumb or a Canadian digit out here in the crowd of people. And the crowd not so thick today, but obviously, you know, casual Thursday going into Pro Spec finals tomorrow, and then round 7 of Pro Championship on Saturday. But all things are shaping up for a phenomenal finals. the target on the back is that of James Dean. But we have seen the variety of winners on the track, and we're looking forward to seeing how it unfolds here in Utah. But it begins with seating brackets. Jacob, first and foremost, saw you last weekend, but how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Good.
I'm happy to be back in this booth and hanging out with you again. It's like
right on.
Seeing each other every weekend. It's great.
Absolutely. Frederick Osbo, James Dean, Haroya Manoa, the youngest ever to win a round of competition. Adam LZ, James Dean, and Matt Field. So James, the double winner there, and obviously leading the pack in a very defiant way. And then we have the Shoreline Showdown. So taking a look at the stats, Frederick Osbo, who had a lackluster by comparison previous rounds of the competition, but 40 points behind our leader, Matt Field, 70 points behind, so he needs a miracle to happen here, basically tomorrow, on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean,
jump up.
Crazy things happen. Matt Field's done well in the past, 2023 second, but to me, Frederick Osbo is kind of the standout. He's, in my mind, one of the favorites to win, just second last year and second in 2022, so he's done quite well here, and James Dean's, I wouldn't say struggled. It's hard to say James Dean struggled at anything, but it's just not been the best track for him. So to get into this points race, this is looking pretty good for Frederick Osbo.
Well, we know that the RTR and the Mustangs like the full throttle commitment, and that's what this course is. So it's crazy that you say that, but you know, you can only tell the future by looking at the past. Historically, James Dean, and again, with the target being on his back, anybody that's not a James Dean fan is like, oh, okay, I'll take that, but James is such a nice guy. He's driving every single, literally did a demo yesterday, a demo earlier this week. He's constantly driving a Ford Mustang across the globe. So I know Vaughn's right now in Crandon right now. Mad Mike's out there. So there's a big off-road race this weekend. So again, a lot of drivers, a lot of drifters all across the globe drifting. But right now we're focusing on Utah and the shape of things to come here as far as, 4 outside zones, 1 inner clip. We saw Pro Spec earlier. Again, a full throttle commitment, placement of the vehicle, stay off the rumble strips, don't go in the dirt. Anything else you want to add?
No, you nailed it. The new initiation system, I'm a huge fan of. I really like the way it lined things up in Pro Spec. I like the way that things went in practice. So just want to see it now with the big boys. So see how it goes.
The odds are stacked with James Dean, but there we take a look as this is Formula Drift live on DraftKings. Now, claim an exclusive bonus. Seriously, bet only $5 on FD and get $300 in bonus cash to play with. Visit NXT Bets, that's Next Bets, nxtbets.com/playfd to claim your bonus cash and make your picks. Be sure to get your bets in before the round of 16 kicks off if you want to play. If possible, to have the flow code with the RG Tech, okay? Again, 21 plus, refer to, again, void where prohibited, gambling problems, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There you go.
Yeah, just as easy as that. What is the seating bracket? Jacob, break it down for us. What are the fans looking for?
Yeah, seating bracket is our bottom 16 drivers coming out of the last round, and they're battling it out for 12 spots. We do have 3 bye runs in this, which means that 1 driver is going to be going out. Really, the ones you got to look at right now, it's going to be Jonathan Hurst has got to win to get in. If he does get in, then that goes to Rudy Hansen. If he gets in, then it goes to Derek. And then if he gets in, Simon Olsen. So we'll keep you in the loop as to who may be getting the bump from competition on Saturday.
Yeah, this is going to be a quick expedited one as long as everybody keeps it clean, nothing too crazy. And this is also, let it be known that here in the seating brackets, every win is 3 points.
Yep.
And tomorrow, on Saturday, game day, it's 10 points per win. So as we talk about bets, you got the NXT Bets Heat picks. So those are the Enfuego ones. Bakshis versus Haley. You can see if you're pulling for Haley and he has, you could potentially beat him, $64. It's a $20 bet.
There's some interesting ones in there. If you're a big fan of drifting, there's some fun stuff in there. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but go back and look at the history and understand what this event's been like for a few drivers.
The stats are your friends.
Yes.
Like I said, a beautiful backdrop. There is the flow codes. Go pull up the phone, do this, hit the flow, and boom, right there. So super easy. You could just see how quickly that is.
Yep.
All right.
Not that we get to do it.
No. I feel like it's an inside job. And also, again, say you're underage. You can't obviously gamble, so you got a fantasy pick. I mean, this is just the natural evolution of sports. If it's stick and ball sports, if it's F1, you got a fantasy league, right? I know I got a fantasy football team. My brother loves it, so I'll play along. But fantasy league standings, last chance to pick your FD fantasy team. You got Jeffers 381, 691, and so pretty cool. So if, look at Bearded Tom. Is that? Do we know who?
No, I don't know who Bearded Tom is.
I feel like we know who Bearded Tom is.
I feel like I might know who it is, but yeah.
Yeah.
Cool system. Pick a couple of drivers. They got some cool boosts and stuff like that, so you can really get involved and try and figure out who's going to be the winner. So there's your top 3 picks for fantasy right now.
It's a no-brainer.
Adam LZ, Frederick Osbo. Easy picks on those.
But look at that. Adam, what's really cool about it is, again, we were at Legends of Drift, a one-off event, filming that Sung Kang movie last weekend. The Drifter, the movie being filmed, and Adam's a star of that, which is pretty cool. But the way Adam has progressed as a driver, from BMX to S13s to this to that, and now here he is in contention of a championship. I mean, he's sitting 4th right now.
Yeah.
A considerable amount of points behind our leader. 70 points. But like we said, anything can happen. It usually does. And shaking things up. Again with the loss, R.I.P. Irwindale. We have a new track, and that could favor, it could hurt some people. And again, those drivers that adapt so quickly to a new track, that could really favor. And again, it being a clean slate setup, car setup, the unforgiving walls, because it is again not like Long Beach Round 1. It is a whole new LB2 Shoreline Showdown, and that could be really interesting.
Yeah, it's looking at the layout and a couple of the developments with that. To me, it's a good blend of a lot of the tracks we already have. Right, we've got that heavy walled and the street segment, which is of Long Beach. It's got that big turn that kind of comes from a few tracks, whether it be like in Atlanta or something like that, in a tighter section, almost like the infield in Seattle. So it's a cool mix. It's a really cool mix.
Open the door, baby. What's the keys to victory?
Keys to victory. Stay out of the, stay out of that big bubble before initiation. I guess we're going with bubble. We're going with bubble? Keep bubble. Keep tires on the track. You're allowed to, you shouldn't go 2 wheels off. 3 is an incomplete. And fill outside zone 2 completely. A few reasons for that. 1, if you're shallow on that super tight line, you could overshoot the next zone. It also allows the chase driver to really get into the pocket there. It's we're kind of back to a similar layout that we had the first year. Tried a couple things going off the rumble strips. We're always trying new stuff. Judges just getting wild out there. But yeah, this initiation bubble, if you will, has now basically just told drivers, this is how we want you to initiate. This is where you want to initiate. Where we want you to initiate. And what it means is the chase driver can really get into the pocket. They can make that dive. They can either follow them or cut through that bubble in the chase and get right into the pocket.
Would you almost say it's kind of an extension of the start chicane?
Yes, I agree. It provides a better opportunity for the chase driver to be in the correct position.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I like it. I agree with it. And you say the word new, and I don't want to scare people. I would just say it's more of an, and you're right, it is new.
Yeah.
But I would just say it's more of an evolution.
Yeah.
Because adapting, like I said, courses, this setup. I think it's a leveling up. It's a progression, and that's, look at the cars, look at the people. Shoot, look at our announcing, right? Progressing over the years. All right, here we go. So Andy Haley, Odie Bakshis, what are you doing in the seating brackets? Right? This is just unfamiliar territory for a real contender for a championship. And Andy Haley in that Evo Auto Works BMW, and look at Odie Bakshis lurking in the shadows. He jumps back, jumps to the side of Haley. I'll tell you what, Andrew Haley, a solid lead run, really good, and I'll say it right out of the gate, and they said it at round 1. You need a solid lead run in order to create that platform for the chase run, and that's what Andy did.
Yeah, it was quite good. A little bit of a struggle there through that first outside zone, and that puts him wide for that inside clip. He does a good job to correct it going into the second. And for Odie, he has to make that correction, gets back into the pocket as we get through this very, very long outside zone. And the transition, there's a lot of different ways drivers have been doing that transition, whether it's on throttle or off throttle, but Andy does a pretty good job, a little bit of a coast through it, but all together for first run here in seating, looks quite good. I mean, it's something for Odie Bakshis to think about. This is, he's got to step it up again. So
yeah,
it's neat.
I had a talk with him, and I don't think he'd mind me sharing. Here he is. Shoot, where is he at?
He's below the bottom 3.
He's at 7. He's at 7. Yeah. So he's 111 points. He knows it is a far gone opportunity for him to win a championship. He'd love to, make a statement here in the sunset of the season, between 7 and 8. But overall, talking with him, he says, man, here I am so many years into Formula Drift, and you can't just show up and expect to win. He's got to make those commitments to himself, to not only working the largest muscle in his body, obviously his brain, but also, you know, working out, literally physically working out. He says, man, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing these things, and I think that just complements where his mindset's at. You know, Field Suspension, you know, that's his baby. He's helping set up a lot of cars and helping a lot of drivers.
Yeah, a lot of the cars on the grid right now are running Field, and yeah, he's supporting the sport wherever he's able to.
All right, here we go. Let's see if Odie can support himself here into the initiation and dial it in. Well done. That front left, just tapping that inside clip. Kind of a straight line approach into outside zone 3, but then turns on the smoke machine. And look at that thing just bellowing smoke. Man, in that last outside zone. Flirting with, ooh, he dipped quite a bit there. That thing just barely slipped off the edge of the course, but it did, and you saw evidence of that strewn about in the air.
Yeah, that was interesting, and can tell a little bit about his suspension just from that, where the car was still stable, even though he's, you know, that wheel looked like it was completely off the ground. So initiation looks good, inner clip not too bad, second outside zone looks good. I mean, it's kind of has all the parts right now to be able to take out Andy Haley, but it starts to go a little bit wrong just after this transition. So most of the throttle floats it just a little bit, and when he gets back on throttle, angle is not quite correct, but does a really good job of staying in it. That one wheel dip, is that going to be enough in the judge's mind to either throw one more time or swing it the way of Andy? It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. So yeah, we'll see. Look at that though. I mean, that car is super stable, even though he's got it one wheel completely off
some
track.
cars would absolutely get disrupted, and that's a compliment to, you know, maybe a suspension setup. I would assume so. You know, we saw in Pro Spec some of the cars just dip and get but it was a fairly sterile Pro Spec outside of just a little calamity. More of like talking to Matt Sopa, again, Pro Spec, you know, co-host here. The tire parameters. I think that really sets boundaries on what the cars are capable of, especially at such a high-speed track on initiation and getting thrown off and setting yourself up for success with a lot of those cars kind of going tight on there or outside, and then outside zone 3 and 4. I think when it comes to, you know, as we whittle it down from 32 to 16, that's where things really heat up, both in Pro Spec and Pro.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're big outside zones. Any mistake you're going to make in there is very transparent. You're going to see it from a mile away. Yeah. And yeah, there's a lot of time to kind of just stare at it, right? So you're gonna know. I mean, Odie Bakshi's going from, you know, winning here in 2024 to now sitting in the seeding bracket, and a pretty tight battle there with Andy Haley. I mean, judges still talking about it as we're sitting here checking him out at the line. That was going to give you an indication of how different things are. So let's take a look at this side-by-side. Judges taking a look at it. So what can we break down? First outside zone, that to me, first and the inside clip goes pretty well there to Odie Bakshi's, at least in the lead. The chases are pretty comparable. I mean, Andy's got to cut some line there, but he does fall into place pretty well by the end of that third outside zone. And then fourth outside zone, Andy absolutely crushes it, whereas Odie goes a little bit wide. So there's some back and forth.
Well, the orange car is going to win, orange and black, but quite a few buy runs here. I'll let you have better handwriting than me, man. We got the bracket, but you know, got this nifty little. I mean, it's a weird flex having a pen with a feather on it, Jacob. I know you like the flair. It looks great. And speaking of flair, the judges that are real judgy. This isn't a fashion contest. It's performance. Reese Marin, Brian Egger, and Vernon van Velde. So we got Colombia, USA. I'd say Philly, Virginia, and the Netherlands. So Vernon van Velde joining us here. Again, Reese and Brian through the entirety of the season, and Vernon and Robbie. So this will be the last round that we see Vernon this 2024 season. It's okay. I'm ready for him to go. I'm joking. I'm joking. He's right here. I know he can hear me. And then we'll get Robbie Nishida for the final round in Long Beach, LB2.
Yeah, it'd be good to have Robbie back. I mean, it's fun, just like, you know, swapping out judges like this.
Yeah, I think it adds to the variety. You know, again, it's just such a thankless job, right? Because there can be only eventually one winner at the end of the day, and right now there's only one winner right now. So Odie Bakshi's gets one, he gets a two, and then one more time. So we saw that a couple times in Pro Spec, so it was not unanimous, but Odie Bakshi's does come out on top. Odie will go against Federico Sharifo, who is in the seeding bracket. So yeah, a little stressful there for Odie, but that's the big one to watch is obviously Jonathan Hurst.
Yeah.
and he is hoping that that Rudy Hansen does not win. Basically.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, for Hurst, he's basically got to win this because he's with the seating bracket. Yeah, so he's sitting in 13th. That is, the first driver without or first slot.
He's in charge of his own destiny.
Yeah, he's got to win. Plain and simple, he's got to win this if he wants to make it into the show. And Ben Hobson looking better on form. We know he's had a couple of rocky runs. I mean, he's had a
talented driver.
Rough go. But
talented driver, and sorry to cut you off there.
No, please.
I was over in the pits earlier. I was talking to Dylan Hughes. Ben pulled up. They were complimenting each other, and Ben's just talking about full-on commitment. And that's why I talked about it earlier with James Dean. And you said, this track maybe doesn't suit the Mustangs or the RTRs. But I know Vaughn says, and that's when it really came to fruition for James Dean. If you can recall, his first freshman season behind the wheel of this Mustang, it wasn't all championship and all glory. It was a trials and tribulations season.
Yeah.
And then once you get it dialed in, now you know.
And we forget. I mean, as you said, James, struggled with it in the beginning. Chelsea struggled with it in the beginning. Adam struggled with it in the beginning. Every driver to step into these, you've got to break the horse. That's it. And once you do, it's set. It's a steed. It'll do anything for you, but it's breaking the horse in. That is the thing that you got to get through to get to that greatness.
I've seen Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a whole rite of passage here.
Yeah.
All right. So Ben Hobson and that Pennzoil Ford Mustang RTR, Spec 5FD, Jonathan Hurst, Mr. Cool. Let's break out those fans right now because it's hot here on track and off track. Ben Hobson, good placement of the vehicle. Jonathan Hurst, good proximity, needs to mimic that angle. We'll get the overhead view, and there it is. Yeah. Boom, just like that. In the latter portion, you see Ben Hobson touch the dust real quick, but then gets back at it, the Mr. Cool. Look at Cadillac. Woo! Hurst jumping and latching on the side of that Ford Mustang. Want to get that overhead view of outside zone 2. Hurst had good placement, kind of on the front and the back, but in the middle. Let's see the sandwich.
Yeah, Ben going for a big swing on that car and getting real tight to that inside clip, and then unfortunately missing all of outside zone 2. Outside zone 3, they got that decel zone painted in there, which is a great indicator. And look at Hurst just slowly reeling him in, does a really good job, not panicking. The car, they've completely changed car setup. They threw out every single setting they had a bunch of calls. I won't explain exactly.
What are you talking about?
For Jonathan Hurst, they completely redid the rear end of this car when it comes to this setup, and it looks so smooth, it looks so dialed, and that's what he needed, get that confidence back. And yeah, for Ben Hobson, he went out swinging. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a miss, and that was outside zone 2. Now, the rest of the run for both drivers looks phenomenal. 3 looks great for Ben Hobson. 4 looks amazing for Ben Hobson. Comes out a little bit, you know what? That angle shows it. He comes out a little bit early. There is room for Hurst to get in here and take down Ben Hobson. So looking over at Jelani, who's spotting for him right now, I guarantee that's what he's saying. There's a couple of spots there. You can do it. So we'll see what happens.
You could see Ben Hobson's car. It looks like he's got a lot of grip in that car, and you can see it placing in that when he went to initiate around that bubble, and then bang, past the 3-2-1 cone into that inside clip. He was shooting on the inside, and that's where that car gripped up. Like you said, that second outside zone, very brief, very truncated, just getting out there, hit it, and quit it, get to the outside zone 3, which is the biggest, which is crazy because outside zone 3 is so long, and outside zone 4 is just it seems like a little bit shorter, but it's just kind of you put an exclamation point on it.
Yeah, it's just, and you enter them similar, but it's still different because of kind of the zones that you've got before it. To me, outside zone 4, you get a little bit more time to kind of figure out how you want to get into that, and a little bit more freedom to that transition, whereas 3, you kind of got to go where the judges are telling you.
All right, here we go. Jonathan Hurst out front. Little slow trickle, keeping it cool. Into that inside clip. Ben Hobson tucks in, transitions now into that third outside zone. So you talk about the settling, but then that does not look, out front. Is that the tidiest? Oh, and then Hobson. Okay, he dives way in.
Whoa.
Hurst goes off. Whatever happened on that second, I feel like just all codes went, all the lights hit the dash, for both the drivers. Hurst was a little wavering there. Ben Hobson shot in on the transition from outside zone 3 to 4. So let's run it back and take another gander. Take another goose, as they say.
Another goose. There was a lot going on with that run for both these drivers. So let's take a look at it here. Jonathan Hurst out front. So very calculated when it comes to that initiation. First outside zone looks good. Inside clip. It's got that. Does a great job to 2. And then Ben Hobson. Hurst's car is definitely slower. Now he starts to come out of 3, and he looks like he maybe keeps one wheel in, and Ben Hobson gets caught completely in the smoke there. And Hurst with a very slow calculated transition, but doesn't have enough forward bite to kind of dig out and gets that dirt drop in. That's a tough one. I mean, Ben got absolutely buried in smoke in that one, and that, I think, is why that transition went the way that it did for him. So, Hurst, though, I mean, the car's not as quick. It is a lot smoother, although you do see those corrections, as you said, that bit of wavering to keep it in the zone. So, real interesting run there from both drivers. Although it was not perfect for Jonathan, as we can tell there, I would argue, if you go back and look at what the rest of the season looked like, this setup is much better.
Interesting. That's a good one. Should even look at back last year.
Yeah. I mean, coming at when he was in the BMW, it looked incredible. He was on an absolute heater. We get that classic line of, I think my foot's broken, but if we can find a shock, we're going to get back into it.
Dude, legend.
Yeah.
And here it is. Jonathan Hurst gets the victory. Fortunately for Ben Hobson, it does Hurst the hurt, but that Hurst get the win, but he does lock in a spot because of his seating location.
Yeah, so now the pressure is on one of our next contenders here, Rudy Hansen. He has to win this because Hurst won. So Hurst was 13th for this seating bracket. Rudy is 12th. The lowest loser in seating is the one who's going to go out. So for that, right now, that weight is on Rudy Hansen, who's against Ken Gucci, who's won this event. So, I mean, not an easy one there for Rudy, but not looking bad in practice either. But Ken's on a heater. So there's a lot going on. Overall win percentage there, 43% for Ken, 35% for Rudy Hansen. That data is from 2020 until now. So this should be an interesting one.
All right, so Ken Gucci on the line, the OG original Gucci, Rudy Hansen. And now keep in mind, if Hansen wins, then all eyes are on, is it D-Mads?
Yeah, then it goes to Derek Madison.
So,
and if he wins, then it goes to Simon Olsen.
Holy cow, look at that. That's going to shake things up. So, Madison goes against Brutski, but all eyes right now, obviously Gucci and Hansen, that's the task and the battle at hand, but it's a must-win for Hansen. If Gucci wins, Hansen is not in Saturday's competition.
Yeah, that's
hopefully Shelly, his wife's shirt, brings him some good luck. I don't know if you saw that.
Great shirt.
That cowgirl shirt.
Just,
I wish I could. Can't even describe it. Here we go. Ken Gucci leading out with that Toyota GR86. Pass that inside clip. Hansen tucks in. Gucci using all the course. Like you said, he's won this event. We know what he's capable of. Oh, and Hansen, he gets too aggressive and just ends up. We're going to have to look that back. I mean, it didn't look like there's any quote-unquote foul play. But Hansen continues on, but that let's take a look here.
Yeah, so the question's going to come into the decel zone, and if Gucci was still decelling past that point.
Momentum, as we're branding it?
Yes, momentum. Momentum's a change of momentum in a negative way. So what I love about Ken's run, though, is it looks so smooth. It is buttery smooth all the way through. So let's take a look here. It's interesting. It does look like it takes a little bit for Ken to get back on power. So to me, that's where this is going to be a bit definitive in this run. Now, they still have another battle to go. Things may go completely haywire. There's still time. But that, to me, is where that decision needs to be made. So let's take a look here again at Ken. It looks great, but he looks like he is pretty far into that zone before he lights off again. Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to see how that all comes together in this judging decision once we get there. But they still got to run another battle. And, well, I don't know if Rudy's making his way back to the line.
Yeah, he's crawling back there. Just maybe they're in his ear. Is he going to call comp timeout?
We'll find out here in a moment.
That is a tough one. As we take a look at, this is what you're talking about, the momentum.
Yeah.
This was approved by the driver liaisons. We have 3 drivers that have spoken and approved of this. So break it down.
Yeah, just essentially where you're seeing that red is where the chase driver should expect a change in momentum from that lead driver. That is more or less the way that is all worked out. Now, there's a couple of cones that have been put on track to help indicate with that and give some more visual reference. I mean, Utah in general, pretty flat. So it can be kind of tough to understand exactly where everything is on track. But we will see as we stack them back up and see how the rest of this battle ends up playing out.
Yeah, I mean, Rudy Hansen is hoping for a mistake. Like you said, don't know exactly what the judges saw there as Rudy Hansen. He does go past that inside clip. Look at him coming out. I mean, the car is gripping up. We need to see that at angle, really just abbreviating those those outside zones, and now into outside zone 3. There he brings it into that final outside zone. Again, nothing as large and with the magnitude that Rudy coming to a halt, but that area outside zone 3, I know, was a point of contention in the drivers' meeting, so maybe talk to Reese about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch base with Reese on this call. Good job through the first outside zone. Missing that inside clip, though. Outside zone 2 looks pretty good. Rudy gets into that zone, gets the tires light off. Now, he does light them off in a pretty similar spot that Ken Gucci did, in all fairness. So we'll see what the judges think of it. And for the rest of this run, not too bad there from Rudy Hansen. Ken does a great job to end the run with an exclamation point, making sure that proximity is really good. So tough one for Rudy. If this doesn't go his way, that is going to be the end of his weekend. So there's a lot of pressure on this one, but I think either way, we're going to have a conversation with the judges, because I have a feeling this scenario may play out a few more times.
Yeah, and here we are. You know, it really wasn't a point of issue in pro spec.
Yeah.
What would you attribute that to?
We got a lot more speed. It's a bigger tire. They're coming into that zone with a ton more speed. You know, the 255 GTs that we've got in pro spec, really, really good. But when we're now getting into 295s and, I mean, and up.
Just more hooks.
It's just a lot more grip going on.
A lot more.
Yeah. So
this is a must-win for Rudy Hansen, and just like that, Ken Gucci advances on. And again, unofficially, Rudy Hansen will not be in the main event on Saturday. That's what we're looking at here. So very unfortunate for Rudy. That is quite unfortunate. So, and such a bummer there. I'm assuming that the judges saw that Rudy just made an error under his own accord.
Came in way too hot. Yeah. So this is what we're looking at. Yeah, Rad Dan getting a bye run, and next up is going to be just another, a tough battle there for Simon Olsen. Brian Littrell taking a little bit of time off, recentering himself, getting back into it. Spent some time at home and just kind of gave everything a nice big rethink. But hey, he's here in Utah. He's looking great. Car looks awesome in practice. Some of the best driving I've seen out of Ryan Littrell in a long time, which is great.
A little Control-Alt-Delete reboot. Saw his mom earlier. Saw their
cool.
massive dogs. Did you see the two big?
No.
Was it Malamutes?
Oh, wow. Those are small horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, big fur balls.
Yeah, Belgian Malamutes.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's a big dog.
All right, here we go. Ryan Littrell out front. Simon Olsen, the chase position. Well, we know these guys are both locked and loaded into competition. Now, Ryan Littrell in that Sunoco S chassis now transitions into that third outside zone. Little left foot brake. Oh, and I knew that was going to happen. He just was on it way too long. Gets involved in the dirt. And the RB Army S chassis brings that last outside zone. Outside of going out the dirt, good control out front. Simon had to drop back. So let's look at this, because again, that left foot brake, and he was straightening while he was doing that outside zone 3.
Yeah, tough go there from Littrell. Looks really good. He's always got these big floaty initiations out as well. Likes using the weight transfer, likes using the momentum. Let's see here, gets in. Yeah, there's the left foot brake that Jared was talking about, and just couldn't get the back end to come around. It looked like a bunch of understeer coming into the car, so that means he's going to start plowing out wide, try and get some angle into it, but it was a bit too little too late, and Simon Olsen does a good job of just staying within the fight, but maybe seeing what was going on there. Look at Olsen adding a ton of angle. He gets the dig out of that. When that car gets on the throttles, the tires hook and he's away. But for, getting an indication there, that might be 0 there. That is tough for Littrell.
Yeah, that's an incomplete for him. So very unfortunate for Ryan Littrell. He was trying to fight it, and admittedly, even if he had 2 off, so an incomplete with a 3, but even if he had 2 off, how does Simon follow that?
Yeah, you just can't.
No, there's just no way. He could. You don't want to risk it. Here he is just chasing him down, and then something happens, or get that gravel machine gun, or spins out and then hits him. So that was, I think Simon navigated that fairly decently.
Yeah, he did a good job. Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking at Littrell's door there. Looks like he's seen some battles there in practice.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Simon Olsen out front, tip to tail. Littrell's going to try to force a mistake from the chase position, but Simon real unwavered in that Mark V Supra setup he has now. Just really progressed with that vehicle. Looking strong. Look at that. Aggressive transition. Good, decent placement on that transition.
Yeah.
Looks like the car gripped up, shot a little bit, finally found the sweet spot, but you know, you could see literal like trying to chomp at the bit, but didn't want to make contact.
You having a situation like that, you know you've got to push it a lot more. So, yeah, it's definitely a tough one there for Ryan Littrell. I mean, he's got to drive hard. You got to try and force a bit of a mistake in the lead driver, and then the outside zone there from Simon comes out of it a bit more. Car looks good, just a little bit too much grip. And then I know in practice they were working on trying to get basically a full throttle transition all the way through, and it looks like he kind of backed out of it midway through that transition, and that's what ends up making it so he's not able to get into the first part of the zone. So, yeah, trying something. He needs that little bit more commitment through that transition. He's got it. He did it in practice. It looked great. Full throttle all the way between 3 and 4 looks phenomenal, but didn't quite pull it off there. Kind of grabbed the e-brake midway through.
I think we know the outcome here. Simon Olsen will a 1, a 2, a 3, get the win. Fortunately for Ryan Littrell, he is still in the show. Everybody we see from here on out will be in. The unfortunate one is Rudy Hansen.
Yeah, so, I mean, hey, he's going to be busy. He's got Shelly. He's got to work with all the way through and spot for her.
That is so positive of you.
I'm trying to swing it that way. They're very, very positive people, so I'm guaranteeing he's like, you know what? There's more attention I can give to you.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. Dimitri Brutsky, Derek Madison, the real father of a drifter. Against D-Mads, Derek Madison. Brand new coilover depot suit, looking good, homeboy.
Looking good.
And Dimitri Brutsky, team never settle. And
Dimitri fighting for his 3rd Pro Spec champion. He's in a 3-way tie right now. If you've never watched Pro Spec, tomorrow is the day.
Oh,
that is going to be, I mean, I'm excited that I get to just be a fan and sit up here over there with the spotters and just absorb it, because that is.
Should talk smack.
Yeah, I might a little. I'll take off the FD shirt and just be a fan and, you know.
Yeah, just be weird. Just get weird about it.
I'm down.
Just be like, you
Let's
suck.
do it. Let's do it. Do some heckling. Yeah, all right.
That'd be amazing.
Going
like I said, I would love, there's like a day like this, I'm like, dude, I would love to just watch a Formula Drift event. Like, grab a beer, hang out, you know, cheer, hate, heckle.
I offered it up.
You suck.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm sure Sopa would love to jump in there.
No, you're not taking my job.
No,
I'm just saying there's
if the day comes.
It won't come.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on. Dimitri Brutsky leading. And there we go. D-Mads in that first inside and only inside clip. Now transitioning into outside zone 3, ripping in. Nice. Oh, whoa, hey. And Derek Madison, don't know what coilovers he's running, but those look like long travel getting into the dirt. Wow, coming into that last outside zone. Brutsky and stage left even there for D-Mads, but he brings it back on.
Yeah, there's he brought on a bit of dirt there too.
Oh, that back left.
Yeah, it does look like there was a D-bead there in the rear of the car. When we caught the angle from the other side, it almost looked like the front wheel was pushed back. Tough to tell from that angle, but either way, I'm almost positive there is a D-bead there. So let's get back in this replay though. I mean, D-Mads definitely way back there and has to make up that gap, and he's kind of fighting for that most of the way through. Dimitri not able to completely fill outside zone 2. And then once we get through here, I mean, Dimitri's on throttle pretty early, and it just looked like Derek wasn't able to find the grip when he entered into outside zone 3. And that means he's doing a little bit of off-roading, a little bit of rally, whereas Dimitri Brutsky doing a great job. So let's see. Dimitri's on it. Derek just way less angle coming into it once he gets on the throttle. Unfortunately, he's not in the right spot. He is somewhere over in the dunes and not where you need to be through that. And, yes, that wheel looks good. I think it's the other one.
That back left looked like a shovel.
Yeah, he definitely was digging for gold in the Utah desert, that's for sure. But a big old smile, and somehow he keeps his hair looking great, even under a helmet.
It's a wig.
No, don't ruin that for me. Look, he's shaking his head, but he's still got a smile.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, you can see that. Very unfortunate. Took a lot of dirt. That's not a wig. I was joking.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Make some noise for Derek Madison. Unfortunately, he is knocking himself out. Goes off, and we'll get some clarification here. Just making sure. So clean up here on aisle. What is that? 3? Yeah, clean up on aisle 3 here at the one, the only. We are talking about that of Burt Brothers Motor Park. Round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. We are elevated.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Get out there and have fun. Because you've got Meguiar's. And we've got your back. From wash, to paint care, to maintenance and more, Meguiar's has your hybrid ceramic solution for every adventure. Meguiar's, reflect your passion.
This is where champions are made. Born from Formula Drift. Engineered for your daily drive. Where Kenda's Vezda UHP Max Plus proves it's not just track ready. It's street dominant. This is podium to pavement. Vezda UHP Max Plus, only from Kenda. Find yours today at kendatire.com.
BC Forged Wheels, custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged, proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
Welcome to the finals. Shanahan and Dean, I mean, two iconic names, not only in Irish, but global names that are synonymous with drifting. So history is about to be made. Who's it going to be? James Dean or Jack Shanahan? We know one thing, it's going to be an Irishman getting the win here in St. Louis. Here comes Jack Shanahan in tow in that BMW. James Dean across the nose of Shanahan. Shanahan drops back, slides back. Great angle from James Dean. Again, no tomfoolery, but Jack Shanahan dives into the inside. That is not where you want to be. Looks like he is buffering here in this situation. James Dean keeps pace. He knows exactly what he needs to do. Goes to outside zone 4. Textbook once again. Hence the name The Machine.
There is so much nervous tension right now as they swap positions and Jack Shanahan will take the lead. It all comes down to this run, both the championship and the rookie. There's so much right here, right now, as these drivers pull to the line.
We know that an Irishman is going to win. Is it going to be Jack Shanahan on his rookie year getting a victory? Or is James the Machine Dean going to live up to his name once again and assume the tie for the points lead? James Dean applying the pressure. Looks like, again, he's not going to make a mistake. It looks like James Dean will be earning that victory after Jack Shanahan makes those mistakes, losing that side skirt. But overall, a great effort by Jack Shanahan. They're living their dreams. It's coming to fruition. James Dean having his mate, having his homie here in St. Louis, a foreign land with two unforeign names in the drifting world now. And your winner unanimously is James the Machine Dean. Gets the win. Second place on his Formula Drift rookie season. Make some noise for Jack Shanahan.
This is my first time drifting like on a season where I went and chased my own sponsors, my own budget, my own team essentially, and to finally see it pay off is quite cool. Everyone's smiling, everyone happy that like we finally got the result. The car finally proved itself that it's fast, it's driving good, and we also proved ourselves as well.
His first ever Formula Drift podium from Ireland, Mr. Jack Shanahan!
Heading into this weekend, like this is not something I expected, and like to have one of these trophies finally is like definitely a dream come true. Like I drove my heart out and it was just good fun. But it was actually the most fun I've had driving in a long time in a pro atmosphere, because I finally just kind of like took my mind off it completely and was like, I'm getting to drive with some of the best drivers that like drifting will ever see. It kind of showed me that not put myself under too much pressure in the future and just enjoy the moment, and hopefully the results come with that, because tonight was special. It was really, really cool.
And without further ado, again, rounding out the 1-2 Irish Punch, your winner, James the Machine Dean!
We just got the win. First place, Formula Drift St. Louis. And what a way to do it. Battling my Irish neighbour Jack Shanahan in the finals was a dream moment for me. Honestly, the biggest moment for me was battling Jack in the final. It's really cool to see someone from their first day of drifting to their first Formula Drift podium, and that made me emotional. He deserves it so much, and that was probably the proudest moment I've had this weekend, to be honest.
We will see you guys in Seattle. The battle in Seattle for round 6. Send it for the Drift Nation. We'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. Welcome back. An update on the situation. Derek Madison will forced to basically. He lost this match. He has to retire. That's what I'm trying to say is he's not winning. Yeah. But he does win because he does advance on the competition, though. But he is forced to retire is the word I was looking for. Dmitry Brutsky will get the advancement, take a bye run. He advances on. Our grade 8 is shaped just like that because a few bye runs has accumulated to this. But Derek Madison had the D bead, so unfortunately he has to force to retire.
Yeah, happens, sucks, but either way, into competition. Gets tomorrow to cheer on some of his past competitors in Pro Spec, which will be kind of cool. And if you're coming out to the event, I mean, drivers hanging out, autograph signing tomorrow, lots of fun stuff. And like I said, and I'll keep saying it, the best round of Pro Spec we've seen, I possibly ever. It should happen tomorrow because of that tie.
Wow, you're really building this up.
Dude, there's a 3-way tie. They're all tied with points. There's a lot of smack talk on the go. There's other drivers. If all 3 of them go out early, there's other drivers that can still win the championship. It is going to be a great day.
Friday, come.
Pay for the whole seat. Only need the edge.
Come to Burt Brothers Motor Park.
There it is.
I couldn't read your writing.
I can't either.
Didn't know it was hieroglyphics or wingdings. Whoa.
There we go.
Hey,
spicy.
You know what? Sometimes, Dimitri, you need to settle.
Yeah.
And he did not settle there. We need you to settle on in on the pavement. I didn't know there was a, it is Salt Lake. We have the dry lake bed, but there's a lake when they exit that outside zone.
Yeah, it's a little water.
Wetting that thing down. It did rain quite a bit yesterday afternoon. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, I don't want any rain during competition, but once we wrap, a little sprinkle would be nice.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
A little wet your whistle?
A little bit. Yeah.
Yep,
just dusty. I mean, it gets dusty up here.
Yep.
There we go.
And the grade 8 is shaped. Federico Sharifo, Odi Bakshis. You got Jonathan Hurst versus Dan Burkett, Simon Olsen, Austin Mata, and Dmitry Brutsky. So Mata joins the conversation. So
should be a good one. Nice. Some good matches in there. Dan Burkett, Simon Olsen, 1-1 against each other, so a bit of a tiebreaker. And Simon and Dan, pretty good friends off the grid. Whenever Simon's in Florida, he likes to get his airboat rides in.
Really?
So, yeah.
I could see Simon being a Florida man.
100%.
Like when you think Norway, you think Vikings, you think, Oslo, like really elevated. Yeah. But when you go to like Rudskogen and you go to, the tracks out there, it's a little country.
A little bit, yeah.
A little country. I would say like a little redneck, but like it's country.
Yeah, and Simon's in the south of Norway as well, which is like a little more, kind of boat country.
Is that near like Sweden?
No, Sweden's to the east.
I'm terrible at geo. I don't even know where I'm at on a map. I've touched 49 of the 50 states. I'm missing Vermont.
Oh.
Here we go. Federico Sharifo versus Odi Bakshis. Truly international. And coming on into that inside clip, Fetty Wap, that's right, comes into that third outside zone. Odi Bakshis.
Oh.
Whoa. A Ferrari going gravel racing, ripping, gripping. That Pennzoil Ferrari in that last outside zone. There goes Odi Bakshis. And coming on in.
Yeah, look good for Fede in the beginning, just going a bit wide there on 3. A lot of drivers struggling with that, with so much speed coming through that transition, just to get the car to grip up and catch going into 3 has been a bit of a struggle. So Fede bringing the wing back, no end plates though. Wonder if there's some strategy into that. Looks good to the inside clip. Second outside zone looks great. Gets into the third outside zone pretty well, but doesn't get it to angle soon enough, but stays in it all the way through. Odi Bakshis forced to pull some of that speed out to stay in the chase. Great job by him. And outside zone 4 looks pretty good from Fede, but now that grip comes into play, pushes him out of that zone. So, for me, Fede's got the first third of the track dialed. second, third needs a little bit more work, but he's. I think the initiation part of this has done wonders for the way he's been able to start off runs.
Odie was a G in that,
right?
Like he was just like, all right,
yeah,
follow me, Thelma. Okay, say less.
Little truth or dare.
Yeah. He was like, dare.
Yeah,
I'll do this.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I'll hold on to that wing.
Yeah,
that was very impressive. He stayed in it, man.
It was good.
Yeah,
it's entertaining.
It was exciting, but kind of flagrant, Odie. But I think, but this is an opportunity to really cut your teeth, sharpen your sword, or whatever analogy you want to use, to see what could potentially happen on Saturday.
Yeah,
because that, like I said, that outside zone 3 was a real topic of discussion in the drivers' meeting about momentum, what you can do, transition, all that. So I think that outside zone 3 is going to come into play, and it has in the past. As finding out what's going on here with, as I talked about and bragged about Odie, he might be saying like, oh, what's going on here?
I wonder if he was just making sure the tires were good, and I believe he dipped a tire at some point, so that might have been what they were looking at. I don't know if I'm trying to make eyes with Justin Pollock here to see if I can get any notes. He won't give me anything, that's fine.
Don't steal second. That's
yeah.
what I told you. Don't steal second. All right, so Odie Bakshis. Yeah, just some debris.
Some
debris in the wheel.
Yeah.
In the wheel.
I wonder if Odie can just feel that wheels out of balance. I need to.
It's like, hold on. There's a wind coming from the northwest.
Listen, their ability to know what's going on with their car is incredible. James Dean once said that he could tell the difference in the type of paint we use, and that some are more slippery than others. And I was like, you know what? I believe you. I 100% believe you that you can tell the difference.
I think he's just feeding you
Maybe.
malarkey.
I'm gonna hold on to that dream as long as I can.
James Dean would never tell a lie.
No. No, but you know what? I believe it. They tell me they can tell when the track changes by 10 degrees.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, this is a game of not even inches anymore, quarters of inches at this point.
As they say in racing, 10 tenths.
Yeah.
But 10 tenths of an inch. Here we go. We're seeing Odie Bakshis navigate into that initiation point, past that inside clip, into outside zone 2, ripping, slingshotting away from Fetty. Drops into formation. A big, long float right there for Odie Bakshis. Outside zone 3, nails it into 4. Brings it on home. Fetty, good positioning.
Right?
I mean, a little late to the party, dude. I know he RSVP'd, but it was a little fashionably late in more ways than one. Beautiful looking car. Love, just the uniqueness of the vehicle, but late to the party, dude.
Yeah.
All the dinner's been served. Everybody's eating dessert.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, he probably brought ice cream because it was a great way to end off that run. And for Odie, he just locked in first outside zone, lights it off. More of a straight line approach, so he's really flexing the amount of speed he can get out of that car, but has to check up a fair bit. Does a great job through outside zone 3. And Fetty does a good job through this. I mean, he really doesn't do a massive straight, and even though Odie is just on an absolute flyer through this run, and Fetty locks it in to the last part of the zone. It's good signs there for Federico Sharifo. He's put a lot of laps down on this track as well. Spent a bunch of time here, but it's starting to come together for him, and I'm happy to see that. But thing is, coming together for you against an Odie Bakshis might be a bit of a too little too late, because just Odie is always on it.
And waiting the outcome here between Odie and Federico. See who's going into the Final Four. This is our first battle of the Great 8 here in seeding brackets. 3 points per win in seeding brackets. Then it levels up to 10 points per win in game day during competition. And I have to deduce that. There we go. Exhaling, ripping, cashing checks, Odie Bakshis.
Yeah, and completely well-deserved there. But, he's on it. If this is an indication of what he's going to look like for the rest of this and into Saturday, that is going to be a hard man to beat.
I know, it always throws me off. I'm like, nope, not tomorrow. Saturday. Okay, got it. Yep. All right, so Odie Bakshis is in, like you said. He won here last year.
Yep.
So some great notes there. Fetty Denofa won in 23. Kenshiro in 22.
That was a great event. 22. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of
getting that win. Yeah. Speak of the devil. I didn't even say his name 3 times, and he shows up. Jonathan Hurst, Kenshiro Gushi. Cadillac versus Toyota. You see the stats, and Gushi has got Jonathan Hurst's number twice before. Now, keep in mind that's only the last 5 years. What you know, was there any motivation between Hurst changing to the Cadillac? What was his motivation?
I mean, it's basically a Corvette chassis underneath. I know a lot of it was like the attention of it because, I mean, it's the only Cadillac out there.
Yeah.
A lot of attention, cool car. I mean, the Corvette chassis is incredible as well.
Yeah.
BMW chassis. It's a tough argument between which of those two is better, but a lot more attention with the Cadillac, I'd say.
All right, something unique.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Wow, look at Hurst. He's right there, just almost taking off the bumper of Kenshiro. Where? I mean, you could barely see Jonathan Hurst, but again, with all that pressure, he didn't allow himself just enough space to transition, but Gucci all the way in that outside zone 3. Now coming on in, Hurst, you saw some disruption in the attitude of that Cadillac. Cadillac spills, but Cadillac drills the side of that door. Well done by Jonathan Hurst, but like I said, had his number, but had to back off, and that didn't end up hurt him too bad.
Yeah.
But he could have timed that a little bit better.
He just got caught on the wrong side of the car through the transition. The transition is very, very long, and you kind of got to decide which way you want to tackle it as a chase driver. If you stay on, let's say, to the left of that car, which is what Hurst did, you can do it, but you've got to back out really quick and then dive back in. So, look, he's just kind of caught through that transition, caught really far inside, and that's the struggle. Ken did everything right through there. Ken's leads are just absolutely flowy all the way through, incredibly smooth. But yeah, Hurst just caught way too far inside on Ken Gucci, and it also caused him to miss outside zone 2 in the chase. Gucci's, like, it's a little slower, but it's just so smooth. It's just buttery.
The placement.
Yeah, this
I
looks
would rather have placement than speed.
100%.
Because
there it is. Reese agrees.
Yeah, just because, especially on this track, you can lead and maybe, I don't want to say force an error. This is like, I remember early Drift Mania days going up to Canada. They would try to force a mistake from the lead. They'd like brake check and we're like, what are you doing? Like, I know a lot of the, those that are down in the lower 48 would be like, okay, this is not right. Like, don't force that from the front. But I like the placement as opposed to speed. You might be down on power in the chase, but you'll eventually get them, especially if you time it right, going into that lead, into that inside clip, and then time it going into the third. But if you stay on it and you're consistent, it's gonna fare well. So we'll see if that works out for him right now, because here comes Jonathan Hurst, high horsepower Cadillac. Again, you can see the minimal corrections here from Jonathan Hurst, but look, this is my proof positive, right? Oh, whoa. And then there he goes getting aggressive. But again, the attitude of the cars. Look, here goes Jonathan Hurst. Ken Gucci looks like he's got a little droopy eye there. Now brings it on in. It's that last outside zone. So this is absolutely to my point. Jonathan Hurst a little shimming on his way there. Wasn't just straight line, locked and loaded. That's what we saw from Gucci. Consistent, good placement. Hurst had an aggressive line, but let's take a look at it again. I could be totally wrong, but
you're good.
Let's look.
Yeah, Hurst with a very mild initiation. Does an all right job through the inside clip. Outside zone 2 is pretty good. That decel into outside zone 3. But yeah, not too bad. I know what you mean, though. Like, there's just, like, in there through that section, you can see the corrections he's got and how that changes the attitude of the car. Ken does a pretty good job of adapting to it, but he was so tight in the pocket that when Hurst made that correction, nothing Ken could do. And Ken just being very aggressive in the chase, especially through that section. So, I mean, solid runs, not perfect runs, but really, really solid runs. And there it is there. Hurst with kind of a double, and just adds angle. So, double e-brake pull. One, settles the car, realizes he's not on the right trajectory, does another one, and then that, same thing, he's not quite in the right spot, adds more angle, but Ken's already in there. When you're adding in that more angle, you're going to reduce a bit of speed. So it's just, it's just the physics of it. And Ken kind of had nowhere to go, but both drivers stay in it. So yeah, great. I mean, in that perspective, good run.
Okay,
no games.
so
No games.
No, what's that?
No games being played.
Strategery. Take a look at our BC Racing custom coilover side by side. Go for goal.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm definitely looking at the leads in these. Who collected all the zones? Who did a better job through those zones? I really think it was Ken kind of had that lead locked down, but Hurst had a couple of spots in here where he just had better proximity. Look at outside zone 4. Hurst is in there. He's in with them, and Ken's a couple of car lengths back through the majority of it. So, when you start to add up all of it together, how does that play out? It's going to be a tough call for both these drivers or for these judges. Tough call for the drivers too, but it'll be interesting to see which way the judges swing on this one.
Couple of the Toyota drivers going for the Kenda approach.
Yep.
Notably, Frederick Osbo got him that victory at round 1, and he said, "Man, front tires. That little factoid just really kind of blew my mind. I'm like, wait, what? Front?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think the tires are as even as they've ever been. And it's one of those like character selection tools where you've only got so many points, you got to put them in different places. So each brand has kind of picked an area that they're really, really good in, and you have to set your car up for that. They've all just got something that they're really, really strong in. But yeah, for me, the Kendas have some really great front tires. Cuts down on the understeer, and yeah, I mean, maybe one day I'll do a full breakdown on the pluses and benefits, or the plus and negatives of each
Love to
tire.
have a round table and a representative of each tire manufacturer.
That would be great. Maybe, yeah, that's a good one. Maybe a good podcast episode. Can I use that?
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool.
Yeah, next one's going to cost you.
Okay, that's fine.
There
Checks in the mail.
Yeah.
Check with a Q.
You can see the Huff logo there. They did a really rad collab, Gretty, Huff. I know Toyota did one as well. So shout out to the homies at Huff. Got those. Have you had any of those beverages that, what is it, Chai Forest or something? Or Chi Forest?
Yeah, the Ken's got it. Pretty good.
Yeah. All right, slide him left, slide him right. Who do we got? One more time. Uno Moss, Jonathan Hurst, and Ken Gucci. So all across the board. So this will be a one more time across the board for Gucci and Hurst. So 3 different schools of thought. Let's see him go again. I like Hurst. I like Gucci. I
see that.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I'm trying to think here. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
The more you think about it, the harder it gets.
Yeah, you can see the smoke coming out of my ears. I was leaning, just barely, I was leaning towards Gucci.
Okay.
Yeah, just because the lead run, you guys have said your thing. I'm just saying my piece, like I said, a scotch, a tire tread. And he burnt that thing right off. But it was, I love Jonathan Hurst driving. I just think Ken Gucci is a little more settled as opposed to Hurst out front. But
Ken's lead, Hurst chase. That's how I look at it. Ken's got the lead completely nailed. Chase, I do think Hurst was far more active and had much more proximity.
But I think Hurst set himself up for failure by chasing him down. They ended up back off, and then they jumped to the side, and that was just a horsepower war.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I think Ken could have just been closer.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree. Agree to agree.
We agreed because the judges, they were split. So testimonial to that.
Tough call. Got some old school versus new school super here. Mark 4 versus Mark 5.
Mark Ferv. It's a Mark Ferv. It's a Mark Ferv. Here we go. It's Rad Dan. All right, Rad Dan Burkett and Seaman Olsen here coming down. Again, the Mark 4 Supra and the Mark 5 coming on down. And coming into that inside clip, Rad Dan now transitioning into outside zone 3. Simon Olsen having to make some corrections, keeping his proper distance. Rad Dan now coming in outside zone 4. Both of them dialed it in. Good fluid line. Nothing, compared to what we just saw between, Ken and Jonathan. You saw just some kind of this and that, but overall they kept it clean.
A little more subtle jousting on this one, not nearly as aggressive. Rad Dan, I mean, the initiation looks great. Outside zone 1's good. Outside zone 2 is great. Like Dan's on, especially for a driver that's been sitting. Now outside zone 3, he fills the whole thing. Takes a second to get in there, but once he's settled, Dan looks phenomenal. Outside zone 4, I mean, Rad Dan's locked in, baby. This is great to see. And for Simon Olsen in the chase, doesn't look like he gets comfortable. Initiation looks good. He's able to start to close up that gap. Band's very smooth. Simon gets caught up a little bit in the smoke. I want to see Simon a bit more aggressive in the chase. Maybe go for, maybe not a dive per se, but pull a touch more angle out, which he does here, but be a bit more decisive on it, right? He does what he needs to do, but let's do it over a shorter period of time. Let's make that dive really quick. That's what looks so good with a Jack Shanahan dive, right? He's doing the exact same thing that Simon's doing there, but he's doing it very, very fast over a very short period of time. So Simon's got the right idea. Let's just a little more snappy.
I would say that would be, so the happy medium would be the aggressiveness of Hurst, but dial it back and then have that expedience of that rate to angle.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is just straight up timing.
Yes.
You know, and you know, Odie's really good at that. I think Chris Forsberg is really good at that. And like you said, the Shanahan boys, that flat track Irish style is really where it shines, you know, because, I mean, here's Jack. You talk about his rate to angle, his expedience, getting there in the pocket and transitioning. The banks, you know, and that's a whole new thing. So you got to bring it all. All right, here we go. Speaking of flat track and speaking of fast track, Simon Olsen out front, the Mark V Supra. Good, nice placement of the vehicle on the inside clip. Now, Rad Dan Burkett, and there it is. So, again, almost mimicking what Simon did in the chase. Let's just dive on in there. Get in that back pocket, 5-pocket jeans, and find the 5 pocket here in outside zone 4. Simon Olsen exceeds it a little bit. Comes out just a touch. But again, these guys, a little bit of a pillow fight here.
Yeah, it was good. It was smooth from both of them in the lead, and in their chases, they both did similar things, but in kind of different ways. Simon's approach was a little bit more aggressive in the chase, and Rad Dan's was a bit more tempered. But lead run, I mean, Simon Olsen looks really, really good.
Ooh, that angle really highlighted Dan on the outside looking in, but then he brought it in.
But he didn't panic in the smoke. He didn't dive. He just kind of went with that instinct and with the inherent timing that he knows is correct, and does a great job. So both drivers really stepping it up here in seating. They're fully capable of doing this every weekend, and I really hope that's going to be the case with all their battles moving forward.
I also take into consideration that they know they're in Saturday's main event.
Yeah.
So no need to risk it right now. You can't win in qualifying. You know, that's what this is. This is seeding, essentially qualifying where your position is, where you're at. So why not just dial it back? We don't need you at 11. Let's get you a nice 7.5. C's are still passing. You can still get your diploma. You know, so just make it to the show.
Yeah, it's pretty comparable. I think maybe that inside clip might be a definitive part of this. Simon is so deep through a lot of the zone. It's very, very comparable between the two. The only thing that's kind of standing out to me is Rad Dan in the lead. The inside clip wasn't quite as good, and Simon did have a bit more of a bobble in the chase transition between 3 to 4. Those are the points I'm picking out on that. Judges might be looking at some other things. But yeah, it's going to be another tough one for these battles, which it's a great sign. It's a really good sign that in seeding we're having battles this tough.
Like I said, I think this is a bit of a pillow fight, but I would play the same kind of safe route. I'm not saying that they're making it look easy.
Yeah.
And they're at speed. They're trying to get close, but I would say salvage the car, drive it properly, and and there's one vote for Dan, and one more time.
Interesting. Judge 2, USA.
One more time. So we got another one more time here. So it was split, but who was it? One went with Simon.
Brian went over to Dan.
Over to, who was it again? Sorry, it was.
Sorry,
Simon, correct? Brian, you sided with Simon, correct?
With Dan.
With Dan?
Yeah, my brain's an etch-a-sketch. As soon as that graphic goes away, I'm on to the next battle.
Can't take my line.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's my line.
Okay, chalkboard?
Sure.
All right.
Like, I feel like yours is a Game Boy. You're younger.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I pulled the batteries out of the Game Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
The Kumo Tire burnout box being utilized here by Never Settle, Mr. Dimitri Brutsky. I jokingly and lovingly say the real father of a drifter, because his son's Instagram handle is the real son of a drifter, which is beautiful play on words.
Yeah, I like it.
Son of a drifter.
Son of a drifter.
I was a son of a drifter, man. Say, ooh. Austin Mata, it does Mata. Dimitri Brutsky. Both these guys, graduates of the Pro Spec, and Austin Mata making the jump from Pro Spec. Love his attitude. Good guy, sweetheart, and would love to see him up on the box. He knows his track. He's had success here in Pro Spec, and just a good cat. Really, I think Austin would do really well in a spec class.
Interesting.
I think he's a really good driver. Not that his equipment is lackluster, but I think he's, again, just with his equipment and attrition and all this stuff, I think he'd do well in a spec class. Here we go. Austin Mata in that S chassis. Look at that angle. Great placement. Comes out of it a little bit and now comes into that third outside. Look at Dimitri. Chill, bro, as Edgar would say. Chill. Coming out of the outside zone 3, transition into 4. Bang. Austin right on it. Fills all of it. So this is what I was saying. So that previous battle, Rad Dan, Simon Olsen, they were like, okay, going through. Austin's like, hammer down. I'm gonna win in qualifying.
Yeah, and the car right now looks like it's got a lot of forward bite. You can see he gets on the throttle, that car shoots in and does not want to float out. Trying to use the left foot brake to get it back out. Dimitri doing a great job to adapt. As soon as Austin gets on the throttle, I mean, it looks really good and planted for outside zone 3, but when he gets into 4, watch, lights off, left foot brake to try and hold it in, gets a bit more angle, and then just comes out of it here. So, tough go. Car just wants to shoot forward. It's really what it is. And Dimitri does a great job of adapting all the way through. I mean, it's one of the best skills of Dimitri Brudski is that he can adapt to so many different drivers in so many weird situations as well. He's driving constantly at different levels in different cars, and he's just always able to find a way.
Yeah, even just this last week in Jersey, he was in a borrowed BMW convertible. Like, just he's all over the place, man.
It's a really good sign when a driver can just jump into any chassis and do a really good job of it. So I mean, it's another BMW, so that's going to play into his hands for sure. Yeah, but I mean, an LS setup in that one, just different. But yeah, I mean, Dimitri's, there's a reason he's a 2-time Pro Spec champ. There's a reason why he was always a competitor in Pro. So he's a solid driver.
Show me what you got. Here we go. Brudski out front. Austin chasing him down. Let's see if this is definitive. We've seen 2 one more times in a row. And we'll revisit only one driver in the final 4. Transition flicks it into that first outside zone. Quick little correction there. Adapting, talking about Austin. He does what Dimitri did to him. Good angle, throwing some more at it. And look at Austin matched that angle. Buried in the smoke. He stays in it. A little left foot brake from Dimitri Brudski. And Austin, dude, he had, look at, I mean, consider this. Here you are powering down outside zone 4. You're probably left to, you know, basically the cords on your tires.
Yeah.
Austin buried in smoke. He's on the left-hand side trying to put the car in the right place.
Yeah, he does a really good job of adapting to that. I mean, Dimitri had a solid run, did everything you need to do out in the lead, fills, I mean, pretty much all these zones all the way through. Austin does a good job through outside zone 3, but remember, I mean, he's sitting at a pretty big detriment, so he's got to have basically an elite level chase run. But yeah, I mean, Austin is completely buried in the smoke there, coming through outside zone 4. But yeah, Dimitri looks very planted all the way through this. The biggest thing to look for is those front wheels, and I do think Dimitri, he's a smart dude. He likes trying some interesting stuff. I think the black wheels, that's a sign. That's a multi-spoke wheel. It's pretty tough to tell what's going on there now.
Ooh. Are you, I was going to say it. Are you calling him out?
I mean, maybe. The only, let's get into it. Let's
call me maybe. Well, Dimitri Brudski gets the win. Dimitri Brudski gets the win over Asamada. Again, really love Austin's driving. I think he'll do really well. He's in the show on Saturday. I mean, he's got the colored spoke. You know, when it comes to Formula Drift, black wheels, or, you know, everybody, like even Austin with the white wheels, you need to have a spoke that is colored or have a logo on your tires so you can see when we slow it down. So, like, look, there's Ken Gucci pulling up. Graham Light 57 Pros, right? I mean, here he is. He's, you know, he's got one yellow spoke. He's on Graham Lights. It sticks out. Obviously, you know, in the opposite of Cash, look, white wheels, he's got one black spoke.
Yeah, I think there's a lot going on. I've seen drivers change glove colors because I've mentioned you can see their hands, and then, you know, the next round they've got different colors. Like, there's a lot that goes into this. If you're making a mistake, you don't want to show it.
All right, here we go into that first outside zone, and now into outside zone 3. Look at Ken Gucci ripping away. Look, he's like, okay, you know what? Placement, speed, I got it. Let's do this. Like you said, he's won here before, outside zone 4. And comes on around. Now, look at Hurst. He jumps into that back pocket. Cash Money racing, baby.
Yeah, Ken Gucci's lead, though, man, solid. Like, flirting with disaster in the lead there. Ken doing a big old cool down there, going all the way to the finish line. But let's take a look here. So Ken going really wide out and does a great job through that initiation. Inside clip is solid. Outside zone 2. I mean, Ken is literally checking the boxes all the way through. So dialed. And for me, Hurst just not able to really get in there. I mean,
I mean, Clinic from Goosh.
And then riding the lightning all the way around outside zone 4.
That was, dude, that was absolutely spot on for Goosh.
Yeah.
Look how deep he was in the outside zone. That front left hit the inside clip, hit it and quit it outside zone 2. 3 was flawless.
Yeah. This is the smallest left foot brake to settle in and maybe get a touch more angle. But yeah, Ken Gucci, he's on one, dude.
Black wheels ain't care. Riding that, not leaving not leaving a doubt in their mind on the placement, the proximity, all that. That was great. So it's going to come down to this. And I was highlighting Gucci there. Again, that lead run gave Hurst that opportunity. He was back there a little bit, but I will tell you that Hurst did bring it on home in that last outside zone 4. Good placement in that chase position. Now, the Mr. Cool Cadillac out front. Look at this. I mean, this is like a postcard. This looks like,
it's beautiful.
Life at Shutter Speed. Speaking of Larry Chen's book, Life at it just looks like, I mean, look at that. Like, that is perfect. Ansel Adams called. He wants his photo back. Here we go. Jonathan Hurst will lead. Ken Gucci chasing him down. Hurst with Padiddle, the one headlight.
Right.
One headlight. There we go. Mr. Cool Caddy into the Caddy Daddy, comes into outside zone 3. Drop top, flip flops, tank tops. Now Ken Gucci tucks in. Outside zone 4. Whoa!
Whoa!
And Gucci goes way off course. As immaculate as his lead run was, Gucci goes off. There is a ton of, hey, cars moving, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
But you do, what's interestingly enough, some of the components out back could wreak havoc. Yeah, watch out for the, my director, watch out for the drizz. He just means like fluid, maybe fire.
Yeah.
And then we got, all right.
Okay.
All right, so we have we're focused on Gucci, but Jonathan Hurst is over near the finish line, and he has a calamity right now. So Gucci goes off, Hurst crosses the finish line, but
yeah, it looked like Hurst kind of unwound maybe early after that run. So hopefully we can get a shot over there. Ken Gucci looks all good as we get the drone over looking at Hurst. And yeah, they got the fire extinguishers out on his car as well, because it looked like he unwound early. So I'm curious what all happened there.
All right, so well, fortunately we're done with both portions of this one more time battle, but there's Hurst out of the car. All right, so
looks like we're all good there. But yeah, let's take a look at this airforce.com replay. Bit of a weird situation. We'll get back to it and give you an update. Hurst out front, very, very aggressive. Great job through inside clip. Outside zones look good. And I mean, Ken just kind of playing catch up to Jonathan Hurst, who is, looking on fire. Sorry for the pun on that one. But yeah, it looks great. And Ken just goes wide, loses out on the grip. And yeah, we're obviously all, kind of keeping an eye out there for Ken. But in another camera angle, you'll see Hurst unwinds the car a bit early, and he might have actually incompleted in the lead, completely separate from Ken Gucci. Let's see if he finishes the zone. So he's fighting it here.
Oh, there's a fire.
There's already a fire going on, and it looks, it's tough. I think he gets across.
Yeah, he did straighten out quite a bit, but he just goes at it because camera guy was focused on.
Yeah, which I get,
Gucci.
but we're back there to Hurst, and I think at one moment he actually pulled the hood off and tried to blow the flames out with it. But yeah, thankfully all okay. I'm not sure if he ended up having to pull his fire bottle on that one. That's always the last resort, but
love that song.
Yeah. Cut my Hurst into pieces. It might have been his last resort.
Mm-hmm.
So track crew here getting that up on a tow truck as Ken Gucci already made his way back to line. So the car we thought we needed to be concerned about was not the case. And instead it was that of the Cadillac of Mr. Cool. Took the wing off. Interesting. He had the wing on earlier on.
Fire and ice, Mr. Cool, and fire to the hood. He's still smiling, but
he's talking some smack though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that body language of Hurst. He's having some words. So judges right now just trying to make sure that Hurst ended up finishing under drift throughout that zone. It's kind of just an interesting one, just the way that the camera positions were and everything that was going on with Gucci. You kind of don't expect the other car to have that, because everything looked great for Hurst, and then you just don't expect that to happen. As we take a look here, as we get that car loaded up, and the judges asking for that replay just to see if Hurst ended up finishing the run while in drift, because he was more or less straightening out across that line. So, just so much going on all at the same time, Jared. It was a pretty wild series of events, to say the least. Ken Gucci's car definitely took a big hit into that wall. We've seen it happen a few times over the years. Hurst actually being one of them. Back in the BMW, the wheel studs broke off and he went for a bit of a slide.
Such a bummer for Gucci. Again, just really great driving in that lead run, and now here he is, banged up.
Yeah. So we may have two independent incompletes possible here with Hurst. They're really taking a look at it to try and understand if he was straight going through the finish line. Kind of have to, see. So it's a tough go. Yeah, weird situation, Jared. Every time we think we got it all figured out, something new and crazy happens.
Yeah, this is pretty cut and dry. I mean, Hurst just needed to basically power through and cross the finish line, but
so what they're kind of going through right now is where that camera was located. They want to see basically where Hurst comes out of frame at the end of that run. Was he straightening going over the line? If he was, then that's going to more or less be an incomplete for him. So now we've got two incompletes of their own accord, and then it's going to end up going back to the other run. So, and it looks like, Ken, maybe with a couple of snips, maybe a couple of zip ties, could be back in action as far as I can tell from here. Hurst, I have no idea, because it's going to depend. If his fire bottle was dropped, they wouldn't be allowed to run again, because we need to make sure you've got an active fire bottle in the car for situations like the one we just had. So, that is what they're looking at this point.
Yeah, a lot of analyzing, and this was the one more time battle. And this does decide who moves on to go against Odie Bakshi's, Hurst or Gucci. And you could see the back end of Gucci's car. So Hurst's car on the flatbed, and Odie waits. Dimitri in the final four. And remember, we have Rad Dan and Simon Olsen. That is a one more time battle as well. So we'll see if we have a victor of these two. Clean up just after the finish line. Very unfortunate for Hurst. Fortunately, one way or the other, if he advances on, can he fix his car? Does he want to run the car? To go against Odie, is it worth it? Probably.
Maybe.
It might just been an oil line, which on a turbo, and it hit and it hits the manifold, catches fire. So all right, awaiting the outcome, and it looks like our judges have come to a result. Slide him left for Gucci, right for Jonathan Hurst, and it looks like Jonathan Hurst gets 1, 2, and 3.
All right.
Jonathan Hurst gets the win, and again, the situation here is: can he fix it? Does he want to fix it? Does he want to keep on driving? We'll find out. All right, when we come back, we'll find out. One more battle in the Great Eight, and that's the one more time of Rat Dan and Simon Olsen. Don't go anywhere here at Formula Drift Elevated.
Drifting is not just a sport, it's culture, it's in our blood.
Here we go, Andy Haley. Oh, he is riding that tire right on that white line.
tires are what we live and breathe in Formula D. We couldn't do this without them.
There's a place no map will show you. A secret spot. A high-performance hideout for cars that crave chaos. New brakes? Check. Roll cage? Check. A spoiler so big it doubles as a picnic table? Oh, you bet. Every apex we nailed, every second we shaved, it's all knowledge that goes right back into your ride. Look like fun? It is. You in?
Need parts fast? We got fast. Need them now? We got now. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. We're O'Reilly Fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Love that car, baby.
I'd like a Cantina Chicken Bowl, please, and the Tropical Punch Rockstar Energy Refresca.
Pull ahead to the pickup window and try not to leave a trail this time.
Nice drifting, Freddie. Enjoy your Rockstar Energy Refresca.
Thank you.
Well, Jacob, we have some updates here in regards to Jonathan Hurst. I know you're talking to Spotter. What happened?
Yeah, it looks like the worst. He lost an engine.
It's pronounced Hurst.
Oh, yes. The Hurst has happened. Rod out the block, full engine loss. Now, we did have the track staff walk the track because, could he have dropped oil? And that's what spun Ken out. They checked the track. There's no oil down, so we're good. Just a big old failure. And it's... I've had a couple of drivers say this. The engine runs super, super well right until that moment. Because, Hurst was on. He was picking up speed. That thing was singing. Wasn't even banging off the red limiter. And then that was it.
Yeah, one of the most epic runs, like the glory run.
Yeah.
Was Justin Pollock. Justin Pollock, when that motor was going.
In Orlando.
Yeah, I know. I was talking about it.
Sorry.
One of the most epic when the motor was about to go was Justin Pollock in Orlando. Just shellacked the track on that glorious run. he's over here. Yeah. He's spotting for Odie Bakshis. And he gave a salute and a bow.
Odie did the same thing in Atlanta on one of the scariest engine losses, but that car was absolutely wicked up. But yeah, see if we can spot when it happens. There it is. That is it. And thankfully, Hurst just held just enough drift to get across the line, but not much. Came down to the wire. And
that is his last resort.
That is his.
It worked.
It did work.
Cut my Cadillac into pieces.
Yeah.
That is his last motor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all joking aside, his spotter over here, they have a good attitude. He's like, yep, I'm stoked they got some points.
Yeah, he wanted them. He was sitting dead last with 0 points and got 2 battle wins in. That's 6 is a lot more than 0.
Yes. All right, Dan Burkett and Simon Olsen. The one more time between them, who's going against Dimitri Brutsky. We know that Odie Bakshis will automatically go to the finals. And now the one more time battle between Mark IV and Mark V Supra, who is the dominant Supra. Man, they're slipping and sliding to take it to the house. Into that second outside zone, Simon Olsen needs to step up, really needs to rise the occasion. And into outside zone 3, going into 4. Oh, and there he goes. That's what he needed to do, but it was just a little late.
Still sticking with the pillow fight, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
I get it. I mean, I don't.
You just want them adoring each other is what you want.
I don't want them to adore each other. I want them to just adore each other.
I think what you're seeing is two very smooth drivers right now, and that's what gives that impression. So Red Dan does a good job, and maybe not as deep through outside zone 2 as what he was previously. Outside zone 3 now he gets settled in, and so does Simon, and gets loaded up for this transition. And outside zone 4, that's when Simon makes that dive. That's what we talked about. That's what I was looking for. Unfortunately, not able to hold on to it, but able to get back into the run by the end. So that's the important part there. Red Dan, not too bad. Maybe not an improvement, I would say, on his lead run, but still very, very solid. And Simon, the dive that he makes, much quicker. I don't know. I know he doesn't listen to me, but he did a much better job of that dive, in my opinion. But wasn't able to stick with it, hold it to the door. Red Dan has to get back into the end of that run. So a little bit there, I think, for both drivers. Red Dan, if he wants to win this right now, he's basically got to be on Simon's door through a good chunk of that, or at least make up the difference in those few spots.
I'm gonna expect something pretty aggressive here. You know, I know the spotters are right here. Simon's spotter, Dan, his wife, Dan's wife, excuse me.
Yeah.
Renee.
Dan is his wife.
Dan's his wife.
Yeah.
He's his own wife. They're up here, and but I can't fault him. I'm not poking the bear here as far as a bit of a pillow fight. But that is just it. Again, save the car. You can't win here. So just I don't want to say go through the motions, because we just saw multiple amazing runs from Pro Spec and now here to Pro, and like you said, 2 calculated, smooth drivers. Absolutely, a great explanation there, Jacob.
Yeah,
thank you.
Smooth is fast. That's
Thank
how
you
I
for. I feel like you're defending me a little bit, because I'm not attacking them by
No,
any means, but I need them to attack the door. All right, here we go. Simon Olsen initiates into that inside clip. There goes Dan Burkett, tucks on in, and Simon slingshotting away into outside zone 3. Dan Burkett, you can see him reeling in the years like Steely Dan into this last outside zone. There goes Simon, and the last outside zone. Simon and Dan, and look at that.
Yeah.
Looking like the Blue Angels here, just in formation. They were inverted.
Another tough one.
Yeah.
Another tough one there. Things to glean from both runs for sure. Simon's initiations are getting much better, a lot more calculated. Inside clip is solid, sets him up for a great line through 2. Maybe leaves it, I don't know, 6 inches too early. Takes a minute to get settled through outside zone 3, but once he does, he's in a good spot. And Dan gets caught a little bit in the smoke in that transition, but holds his own through outside zone 3, does a great job of closing the gap through outside zone 4. Simon giving him all the opportunity in the world. So both drivers stepping up, both drivers doing a really good job. And yeah, just smooth. Very, very smooth for these runs. You're not seeing a lot of big changes, a lot of big corrections in, a little bit of left foot braking here or there. And if you're going to make those corrections, make them short, make them punchy, get it over with, move on with the run. It's the drivers that have big, long, nasty left foot brakes, huge e-brake pulls. Those are the ones that get called out. They're the ones that get themselves in trouble. Here, those little corrections, you can see them, but just make them short, make them brief, and only use it when you have to. So I believe, judges already looking for a side-by-side, and I get it. I get it.
Yeah, and this is where we're splitting hairs here, Supra hairs.
Yep.
Who is the superior Supra?
So to me, in general, I think the lead run goes to Simon. He does a really good job, but once again, the chase, Dan gets into that pocket a lot sooner. Now you could have that argument of, hey, with a great lead, you get a great chase. Dan has all that opportunity in the world. Simon has a couple of spots where he's in there, but maybe fighting for it a little bit more, whereas Dan is very smooth, closing the gap all the way through, doesn't panic. You know, when he doesn't make the dive like Simon did, but he's slower to transition into the side of it. It's a tough one. Simon's lead, though, to me, gets that win. Dan's chase probably gets the win. So now how does that all line up? What are you looking at? Right, yeah, rock, paper, scissors?
No.
Yeah, let's not settle it that way.
I didn't want you to verbalize my hand signals there.
I mean, these mics pick up a lot. I figured, that.
When I go dry my hands in the bathroom, paper always wins, dude. Ooh. Just throw the rock and the just goes over. Ugh.
I know what you mean.
Always lose.
I visualize that one, yeah.
Always lose.
When you rock, paper, scissors, the paper towel machine.
Here we go. Slide him left for Dan Burkett. Right first. Simon Olsen gets a 1, a 2, and Olsen gets the win, but not unanimously.
Okay.
So there you have it. split decision, but 2 against 1. Simon Olsen gets the win. Simon is moving on. So Simon versus Brudski. Odie is going to hang out on that side. I don't know if we'll have him do a bye run.
I think he's got to run. Yeah, he's got to run the actual run, more or less just to kind of prove that he can run. Yeah,
Odie was born to run. Odie Bakshis going to the finals. Odie, and it will be Simon Olsen or Dmitry Brudski. And of course, Simon will have to get some fresh rubber, maybe top off the fuel.
Yep.
I don't think so.
Most drivers will just top it up every time you do tires.
Consistent.
Yeah, it's tires and fuel
Weight.
every time. Yeah, and just makes it
Slap in a
predictable.
tank, big time.
And it's one of those like habitual things. You do tires, you do fuel.
Check the hood pins.
Check the hood pins. Yep. Check them if you got them.
And these guys got them. There we go. Matt Sopa down a line. Again, co-host of the Pro Spec competition, and he'll be up here all day tomorrow. I think this is you know, I think good for Odie, just getting more practice.
Yep.
This isn't going to cause too much damage, and if anything was to go wrong, honestly, you want it to go down now and today. You have a whole day tomorrow to work on the car. So Odie Bakshis with a bye run, ripping.
And I mean his
cow.
Oh man, so look at that. Oh, shoveling some dirt.
And take into consideration this. If he advances on Saturday and he's in the latter portion of the competition, this is the time it would be. So this is a good setup check.
That's a great point. It's a good way of knowing, and he is somebody who, I mean, obsesses over setup. One of the best setup people we have in drifting, period. So I mean, you run field suspension, you got to know something about setting them up.
You know, a lot of his stuff, and a lot of these guys came from the two-wheel, talking moto, you know, dirt bikes, and that's where he came from. He says, you know, I'm going to park the bike, and he picked up the car. With age comes a cage, old Travis Pastrana saying. So there he is. Not calling him old.
Nah, experienced.
Experienced. There you go.
There you go.
Legendary, veteran, golden years, golden girls. All right, well, when we come back, our other battle of the Final Four. This was the, again, bye run for Odie Bakshis. It'll be Simon Olsen and Dmitry Brudski. The other side of the Final Four when we come back to the Burt Brothers Motor Park, just outside of Salt Lake City. Thank you.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Visit your local discount tire and service centers for all your automotive needs. We're family owned, serving as your one-stop shop to have your vehicle running smoothly. We offer 5-star services and a price match guarantee. Plus, get 2 tires free when you purchase 2 select tires. What are you waiting for? Go online and schedule your appointment today.
Are you ready
Ready to rev up your career? At the University of Northwestern Ohio, our high-performance motorsports program puts you in the fast lane with a 70% hands-on education. Learning from the best in the business, you'll master the skills needed to excel in the world of motorsports. From the pits to the paddocks, UNOH students and graduates dominated all facets of racing. Turn your passion into a career at UNOH. Apply today at unoh.edu.
Is this it?
This is it!
Formula Drift is brought to you by Toyota, let's go places. GT Radial, experience the performance. Rockstar Energy, the official energy drink of Formula Drift. Kumho Tire.
It's definitely impossible to do this by myself. I mean, I have a whole crew of guys, even at my own shop, 3's Racing, who's helped me build this car and the foundation of the team from ground up.
Ken Gushi now out front in that Andretti Toyota GR86.
Kenji's always been down for me. I mean, he always stays as late as he can to help with the program, and he's the hardware that kind of holds the team together. He's everything. He's the president of Andretti. He's a fabricator who's built my car from ground up. I'm just a driver, team owner, but he's like the guy that makes everything happen.
This gentleman's in 9th grade, coming all the way from Japan, and the youngest ever to podium. Make some noise, Hiroya Minowa!
To see a driver like Hiro Minowa come in and completely just dominate the series as young as he is really reminded me of what I felt back then. You know, I knew watching him, I was like, okay, I made the right choice to become a team owner because one day I want a kid like that driving my car, you know. But till then, I want to still be in the driver's seat competing against him.
Japan, Hiroya Minowa gets the win!
The first round of Formula Drift Japan is coming up, so I'll go out there for that and play it by ear.
King Gushi, lead position, car number 21 with Team Kazama. Chase. Zone 2, nice and deep, a very nice split.
It's nice. I mean, you know, you go back to different countries and compete in their series, and you pick up a lot of things that you didn't really realize, like that you were lacking.
You got to chill.
It's really odd to say that after 20 plus years of competing in the same series, that I still have things to learn.
And look at Gushi, he drops into formation.
That says a lot about the sport, is that like every year it just continues to progress and progress, and the cars get crazier, the tandems get closer.
What a season.
I've been very fortunate to compete in both series. A new crew, a refreshed car, we're definitely excited to see what the season brings.
All right, looks like we got cars in the burnout box, and here is the other side of the Final Four bracket. Talking about Brutski and Simon Olsen. And giggles all around. Is it
some children laughing?
Yeah,
what's a racetrack with some children laughing?
I believe the children are our future. Brutski and Olsen to show them the way. There we go.
No idea.
Yeah, Whitney Houston.
Okay. I'm gonna have to believe you on that one.
Yeah, 100%. Dmitry Brutski, Simon Olsen, as we are, you can see the age difference here, you see the stats, the variety of cars, and Simon, you saw how calculated he was, smooth. Dimitri's gonna try to disrupt.
Yeah, I think so.
The disruptor, Brutski.
I do think so, and Brutski's gonna get the lead on this one. I'm interested to see how that ends up playing out. Yeah, it'll be a good one.
Who's going against Odi Bakshis in the finals? Seeding brackets here in Utah. Burt Brothers Motor Park. And Dimitri initiates Hits the inside clip, no problem. Simon tucks back. He is back there quite a bit. Brudski filling all of outside zone 3 and then some. He exceeds the line. Simon gets thrown off. Brudski gets in the dirt on that outside edge. All right, so let's get that overhead view. Dimitri, how aggressive? Obviously a lot of dirt, a lot of dust, but let's take a look at it again from overhead.
Yeah, Brudski's car looks pretty wicked up right now. I think the temp's coming down the track is starting to tack up because look, he's not able to make it into the second outside zone, and he carries so much speed, and that car does not want to get to angle. He is fighting it to get to angle, and by then it's too late. He's already dipped off. There's nothing Simon can do at that point. So that to me just looks like a car that's really fighting. I mean, even the amount of speed he's got through outside zone 4 without a ton of angle, that to me, it just looks like a car that's really, really whipped up, wants to drive forward, and unfortunately bites him because, I mean, completely misses too. And it just, you can tell, he's trying to get that car to angle, trying to get it to come around. It just doesn't want to go. So, tough go. Simon did what he could without absolutely binning the car or going off-roading. And yeah, to me, that's a driver kind of leading things off. I don't think Dimitri went 3 there, but definitely 2.
Yeah, and regardless of how many, as far as, you know, an incomplete or not, that disrupted Simon in the chase.
Yeah.
He just can't go anywhere, you know.
I think so.
You saw how he,
definitely disrupted. Yep. So we'll swap him around, see if Simon can keep that really, really solid lead run that we've seen out of him earlier on today. And if so, if he can do that, if he can keep it all together, that might be what he is looking for here to get this win.
You know, and I said that Dimitri was going to be the disruptor, and he disrupted from the front.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be, now I foresee him trying to be really aggressive here and force an error, maybe even banging doors. There goes Dimitri, takes out some angle, gains proximity, now brings it home. Simon Olsen, if he keeps it clean in this last outside zone, he's going to have the victory and go to the finals against his former teammate, Odi Bakshis. Good pressure there in outside zone 4 by Dimitri, but with that major mistake in outside zone 3, that's going to hurt Mr. Brudski, and I think all signs are saying, again, unofficially, just like my opinion, man, Simon Olsen will get the win.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that one. But yeah, Simon Olsen back on it. His lead runs are good. Maybe some of the fear he's had with this car or something. I'll go chat with the team later on before we get in the top 32 and kind of diagnose it. But it just looks good. It looks sorted. He looks sorted. Everything is finally coming together for him, and it's a great sight to behold. And for Brudski, he's got to do something crazy there in the chase. He's pushing the pace. He's trying to get the lead driver to make a mistake and wasn't able to do it.
Let's make it official. 1, 2, and 3. 3 votes for Simon Olsen, and Simon going to the finals against Odi Bakshis. One more battle here in our seeding brackets. And again, tomorrow we have our pro spec going down, and 11:30 is when we begin top 32, and 4 p.m. local time will be our top 16 opening ceremonies, again for pro spec. And then tomorrow Saturday 11:45, and just before 4 o'clock, 3:45 for our United States Air Force opening ceremony. So just slightly shifted from Friday and Saturday, slightly from pro spec to pro, but you can always go to formulad.com or go to Formula Drift's Instagram and social media networks. Always live in full effect. And you can see Simon tracking back to the hot pit area. Big, massive, expansive land here in Utah.
Yeah, so much property.
Let's take a look back at the standings coming into this round. Again, James Dean leading the pack, 2 wins. Frederick Osbo winning in Long Beach. Matt Field most recently winning. Adam LZ winning in New Jersey. Haroya Manoa, what a weapon. Dude, I was sitting here earlier watching him. That kid will be a champion. It's undeniable.
As long as he doesn't find other interests, he is locked in as a champion.
Bro, it was unreal just watching him practice. But I'll tell you what, let's take a look back at Haroya Manoa getting the victory earlier this year. Again, this child, absolutely just a weapon. Let's take a look back at Hiro Manoa. Here we go, Odi Bakshi's, Hiro Manoa. Be sure to join us at the podium ceremony. Who's gonna be on it?
You know, I do this because I love doing it, and this year I had to change a few things. And one of the things that Amy and I, my spotter and wife, have been always thinking of is bring in someone with a fresh perspective to spot, and we brought in Justin Pollock.
Odi Bakshi's gangster angle. He talked about Justin Pollock, his wife in his ear, pushing him.
He has seen me drive throughout the years, and he knows that there's something missing, and I think he is identifying that it's just that push to tap into my potential and make me drive as hard as I know I can.
Hiro Manoa will lead. Bakshi's chasing him down. Now it's all about the victor, Odi Bakshi's. Look at him, grinding in the door of that Ejuka Racing 86.
The motif of this season is it requires aggression and consistency, so that's where we're at right now.
Hiro Manoa gets the win and is going to the finals. He called it out, one battle away. Predicting and claiming his fate. Here we have Hiro Manoa, 15 years old, and Jonathan Castro making history for himself, the first ever podium. You know, Hiro said Ichiban #1, but Jonathan Castro's going to try to put a stop to that.
Yeah, he's going numero uno, that's for sure.
Right. Jonathan Castro, he is guaranteed at minimum second, as is Hiro. But both of them want numero uno or Ichiban.
I'm so excited now for the final. Last year I couldn't get the first place, but this year I will get the first place.
Send it! Initiating into that big bang. Jonathan Castro, right there, in it, buried in it. Here's a shovel, can you dig it? Hiro Manoa, tucked in, finding that special secret sauce. The 15-year-old brings it across, the tire fire is on, and brings it on home.
Wow. This is what we've built up to. This is what I was looking forward to. We've got two drivers on absolute heaters.
Just kind of say everything clicks. The guys just work really, really good. The car is working great. Just everything is clicking. Driving against amazing drivers. And my guy just said, hey, just do it again, and it'll be fine. And that's what we're doing.
Who's coming out on top? 1, 2, 3, send it! Here we go. Manoa initiates. Castro works his way up to the top. Manoa settled in right there, bathing in the smoke as Castro tire fire early on. Manoa finding that side grip, ripping on home. He is on fire literally and figuratively, and potentially one step closer to that win.
Wow. Manoa just finding everything. This sport will never be the same if they keep driving this way.
And now your winner here at round 3, Formula Drift Scorch, Orlando Speed World, unanimously. The winner is, from Japan, Hiroya Manoa gets the win. Congratulations to Hiro Manoa. Jonathan Castro gets his first ever podium.
I'm so happy now, and thank you so much for the team, for hard working, and sponsors, supporters, and my family.
Here's the one, the only, Hiroya Manoa!
Oh my gosh, what a night, and thank you guys.
Thank you on behalf of the whole Formula Drift staff, team, drivers, crew, sponsors, everybody. We'll see you in New Jersey, the Garden State. Send it, Formula Drift Nation. Not only was it great, as they say, a hero was born, but also we saw Jonathan Castro get his first ever podium too, and that was a win-win or a win-lose situation there. But overall, seeing Hiro, seeing Jonathan Castro, that was a great event. We talk about just some venues. As I've said, Atlanta, I love it. Seattle is kind of lurking up there, man.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, after going there 20 years. Great fans, good driving, the diversity that you need to bring, and then Orlando. It could be hot, it could be wet. It's I would say the worst weather, but not until New Jersey did we have the worst weather. But all that being said, they're like the drivers, the tracks. They're kind of children as well. It's just all part of the fabric and the painting and the art existing, and us just creating these experiences for people.
Yeah, I think each track really brings something different to the series, which is great when it comes to like the actual track layout itself and providing different disciplines that can be highlighted, and then the facilities themselves. I mean, for what we do and what the judges do, sometimes we're in booths, sometimes we've got all the room in the world, sometimes we're crammed behind the tiniest desk you've ever seen, and it makes for a different show. And yeah, I mean it's cool. The biggest thing for me is no matter where we go, the fans are incredible. Everybody's just ravenous for this sport, which is so invigorating every time you get there, because it's you show up and you're like, okay, we do all this stuff, and then people are just pumped. They're so excited to be at the event, and you're like, okay, and I know, at least for me, like you pull so much energy from that.
Yeah, it definitely. Our role and our perspective is up here. You were once media, now you're here in the booth. It's like that Mark Wahlberg movie where he outsings the lead singer and he takes him. He's in that Dragons band.
Oh, okay.
Somebody will message me.
Yeah.
I think it's called Rockstar. Actually.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So that's kind of that role. You coming up here and perspective, man. I've never been down in line. I've always been up here, but everybody has their perspective. Behind the wheel, high in the sky, judges, all that. I think it. And just being a fan. I appreciate it. And again, if you boo, it means you care. If you cheer, it means you jeer. I think overall, everybody's got perspective. So
it's good.
That's not lost on me over 21 plus years now. Here we are in our 22nd season.
Yeah, and even the fans that feel the need to get maybe a little bit negative, the way I look at it is I'm happy that you care so much about the sport that you go and do that.
Yeah.
Right, that you've got that strong of an opinion.
And like most recently, just watching the Padres play baseball, I'm surrounded by a lot of Angelinos, a lot of Dodger fans. So it's like, boo! It's like, respect to Ohtani, dude. Like, that dude's a G. Like, I don't care. You could just be a fan of baseball, and you're like, dude, 51-51 club. Like, come on, dude. Game, respect, game. So, speaking of game, let's talk about it right now. Odie Bakshi, Simon Olsen. Odie out front. Fuel suspension S15, and Simon Olsen, once teammates, now going against each other as they did before, even in identical cars. Now coming into that third outside zone, Simon tries to twist the screws. He has to back down. Odie Bakshi's tempering the flame, dialing it in. Outside zone 3, coming into 4. And there goes Odie Bakshi's hammering through outside zone 4. Odie out front. So, outside zone 3, let's take a look at it. Again, was Odie consistent? Did Simon have to back off? Two opportunities.
Yep, no, great eyes on that one, Jared, as always. Outside zone 1 looks great. Inside clip nailed. Outside zone 2 nailed again. And then right here, where's Odie lighting off? He gets onto it and just, it's tough. It's just inside of that zone.
Momentum is the word.
Right. I would say Odie is carrying the momentum through there. Now it's where he is lighting off. It's a big conversation because it's very visual. You can tell the moment that those tires start spinning, the smoke comes up, you know exactly when they're getting back on throttle. So that's it. Now Simon's still got to time it. And look at Simon's on a tighter line and just tries to hang on as long as he can, grabs that e-brake to float in, and maybe a touch more patience than he would have been there. And we're talking about a fraction of a second, a tenth, probably 100th of a second. And that's the decision of, you know, he's got to make in that moment, and that might be one of the big deciding factors here in this battle. Now they're going to swap it back around. Chris is in the ear of Simon, and he is probably just telling him, just absolutely go for it. Do what you've been doing. Perfect lead run. Just absolutely send this run, and we'll see how that goes. Odie is a tough driver to shake. Right now in their careers, 7 battles between them. Odie is leading that with 4 wins. Simon with 3. I'm sure Simon would love to even that back out.
All right, grabbing into the gear, Gary. Here we go. Simon Olsen now out front, and Odie Bakshi's chasing him down. Let's see what unfolds here. Remember, this is seeding brackets. 3 points richer to the victor in this particular battle. Past that inside clip goes Simon Olsen. Odie Bakshi's in tow. Let's see if he can time this properly. And Simon, good angle. Some good massaging by both in outside zone 3. Going into 4.
Whoa!
Odie Bakshi's overcooks it. Goes way off course. Wow. And Odie just overshoots that. Very uncharacteristic of Odie. Like, I feel like somebody threw a banana out there. Didn't know this was Mario Kart. But that was very uncharacteristic of Odie.
I mean, thankfully we got the spotters right next to us here. I'm trying to see if I get any indication of what's going on, but they are stone-faced here. Everybody's
got a poker face on.
Yeah, I mean, I was in absolute shock here. Odie is on it. Simon's providing such an amazing lead run. Both these drivers are going to be incredible tomorrow. Simon is riding the lightning all the way through. He is on the edge of this track. In this transition, Odie looks good. Odie's just a little late in the transition. That's all it was. Odie was, I mean, once again, 100th of a second. Man. So let's see. Simon through, looks really good. And Odie just in the smoke and just comes out a little bit wide. Man, that's where we're at with this sport now. I mean, maybe even 1,000th of a second is the difference between you know, having a great run and then completely binning it. So, yeah, I mean, pretty nuts on that one. It was, yeah. Man, oh, and D beads on that one as well.
Yeah, well, maybe he DB'd it in transition.
That's a good call. Yeah.
Yeah, he might, because that's that back right. So if he went to go flick it into outside zone 4, might have hit a rumble or caught something, and he might have DB'd, and that's what shot him off.
Yeah. I mean, it was nuts. Man, that was crazy. Utah definitely throwing some twists in the plot, that's for sure.
Utah, I'll have 2.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, so we know that third place will go to Dmitry Brutsky. He'll join us on track. So let's take a look. Again, here he goes from outside zone 3. Watch the transition, that back right. He's firing off on throttle. Simon, like you said, he created that pedestal for Odie Bakshish, and then look at it. So, like, again, right there, he could have lost it. Bang.
Yeah.
That transition, look, so he went dirt, and where that rumble begins, take a look at it with our naked eye.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, there's the white cone there.
Yeah.
He was in the dirt, and where that rumble begins, that red and white, there is a bit of a thing there, so he might have just hit that edge and DB'd. He might have been able to save it, but if you don't have that back right coming back on track, just save the car.
Yeah, I really think just here, it's just a slight miss in the transition. And as soon as Odie gets through the smoke, he's got that transition going. Because it's one of those, you try to go early and you come in way too inside. To me, Odie was kind of waiting to come out of the smoke, and Simon's transition was very long and floaty. And, yeah, just that was it.
Exit stage right for Odie Bakshish, but some good seating brackets going down. So let's announce our podium here. Finishing third place in our seating brackets, Mr. Never Settle, Dmitry Brutsky. Brutsky with third place. And just making sure and confirming that the judges are in alignment with what we thought, your winner in seating brackets is Simon Olsen gets the win in seating brackets. That means Odie Bakshish gets second, Dmitry Brutsky in third. There are your seating brackets in pro. So again, 3 points richer with every win. Saturday is game day for our Formula Drift Pro action. Thank you so much for joining us out here at, again, we are talking about Burt Brothers Motor Park, just outside of Salt Lake City. There it is, making it official. We will see you guys and gals tomorrow for our Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship, round 4. And Jacob, you said it. What'd you say?
I mean, just do not miss that tomorrow. That is going to be absolutely epic. Man, I'm maybe more excited for Pro Spec this weekend than I am for Pro. I know, bold statement, but
bold move, Cotton.
Yeah,
you could dodge a GoPro. You can dodge a ball. All right, well, thank you so much on behalf of Jacob Gens, also Matt Soper and Prospect. Thank you to our judges. Thank you to Chris Yule, Ryan Sage, all of our Formula Drift track staff, and our production crew. We will see you guys tomorrow for our Prospect competition. And again, Pro on Saturday. Send it!